Jag slipper hela livet i sås.
Around the world. They create this thing, and there's several ways they do it. Number one, they ain't no fucking homeless. They let the crazy niggas out of doggone the crazy house every fucking Thursday. And these niggas be out on the street crazy as hell. But when the white boys go crazy, they come and get it. Now I saw this, me and Steve there used to sit in front of the Equitable building every day. And we see these doggone niggas. Look at all these crazy niggas. Man, I think I counted 200 crazy people in the month of July 1998 alone. I said, man, this is something. I saw one crazy white boy. He crazy and shit, you know, scratching his ass. He was only there 2 days. They couldn't get that cracker. But then I said, wait, let me analyze this thing here. And on Friday, and I noticed, I said, let's see what happens on Friday. And on Friday, sure enough, I saw the little wrist, the little band on their arm. I said, somebody's letting these damn niggas out to fake this homeless thing. Fill up your church and eat with these crazy ass foods. That's a system. And that is to create a system that they can tell the world, see, these people are savages. You see, and we buy into it. They let these fools out every day. Now I know I talk to some of these brothers, I know these niggas are crazy. So it's just like they say, if you're a crazy man, that's not a homeless problem as if you can't get no job. That's a crazy person. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, then they got niggas in the West, and one brother been out there drawing pictures for people since 1981. No, 1991, 10 years. Then they got these brothers, man, they come out there and all this brother wearing warm-up suits and stuff. Cost more money than half the stuff you got on. This nigga go home every night. Walk up the street to his house and then come out there to my brother, man. Give me a quarter. It's a science to this thing. You see, but going back, this is a problem going on all over the country about space. The conscious people can't get space. And if it's something that the government can come in and say, hey, you're not doing this, and you're not doing that, or whatever, you see, they will come and attack these people, and next thing you know, we can't have you speak here this time. So these places are shutting down all over the country. And it's not as bad here in Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? Because the Afrocentric Temple was very suspect. Anytime you go in the Afrocentric Temple, and they got a picture of Beverly Harvard up there, shit, you bringing us the enemies. Now what the hell has she got to do with the history of black America? Some nigga up there mining some plantation for doggone white folks. We just went to see a movie last night. Good, the movie was awesome. The Denzel movie. John Q. But John, he bends over now. The movie is his HMO didn't pay for half the stuff, and the doctor was like, your son ain't got no money to take him home to die. So he rebelled against that and said, no, I kill myself before I let my son die. And he goes and back to kill himself, and about to kill everybody to make sure his son get a heart. Based on rebelling against the system that say if you ain't got no money, you don't deserve to live. And you know what this fool does? He bends over in his son's face. When his son is almost about to die and he's getting ready to take his life or something so he can give his son life, he tells his son, whatever you do, don't be like me. Sell out. This is what this motherfucker said. He said, go with the money and sell out. If you have to sell out, sell out. That's, I mean, this is a contradiction. Here it is, you done barricaded yourself in a hospital and you are going against the system that says, no money, your son don't deserve to live. And then you're gonna turn down, and all this shit in the movie, and you're gonna turn down and tell your damn son, go after the money, and even if you have to, sell out. Well, goddamn, you didn't sell out enough that if you was gonna sell out, nigga, then go your ass home and take your son home and let him die. So you about to kill yourself and kill other people. You see what I'm saying? To make sure that your son lives, and then you're gonna be over the hospital and tell your son to sell out. I said, man, this is 2002. I never thought the day. I said, now this goddamn nigga had to have read the script. I'm quite sure somebody paying you 10. They say he since 95 or something, he been getting $10 million a movie. So you get somebody paying you $10 million a movie, you can't go, I ain't saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? Get some other nigga in the movie that's not, I'm not saying that. And I'm quite sure if Denzel says, I'm not saying this, the station will scratch that on out. This nigga bent over to his baby boy, 8 years old or something, and tell that nigga, a black man for the future, go after the money and sell the fuck out if you have to. I don't give a damn how great the movie. This is an all-time low. This is worse than Richard Pryor in the movie Toy. Now that was the worst movie ever put out with black people. Here's the motherfucker was with Which Way Is Up, and all these movies here, and then all of a sudden, he goes from a TV program, on the NBC, groundbreaking stuff, to letting a white boy drop grits and shit all over his head or whatever. And the white boy used him as a toy. But in this movie, Denzel turns around and tells his son, after going through the movie and got the whole Chicago police force out there about to kill him, he comes in and says, sell out. Told his son to sell out. He gonna get an Academy Award for the other movie, Training Day. But see, the conditions of getting the Academy Award is he got to come out in this movie, tell his son to sell out. Knowing right now, half the niggas right now is looking for any excuse to say, damn them Negroes, I'm getting paid. You know what I'm saying? You got T.D. Jakes and every other fool. And all these people talking about prosperity. Talking about prosperity. And talking about prosperity, and you got this fool here. And all these people, they done co-opted God, supposedly, to say that we gonna get cold paid. And you mean to tell me that this fool gonna bend over and say this? You see, but see, Denzel is the top man. You see what I'm saying? In Hollywood. You see, he surpassed a lot of white folks. You see, but this is what time it is. This is what doggone time it is, And he put it right up in there, and I'm looking right in this movie, and this man literally telling his son to sell out. You see, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world.
Yes.
Come on up, brother.
Pick up Chris Sadia. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we can do this, yeah. This is Brother Steve out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, this is an old thing that was going back since the beginning of time, at least around the time when religion started springing up and the actual mystery system started deteriorating. So what you have here is this. You would have systems. If that particular system started to deteriorate, then you would have a problem because you couldn't get the people to go behind your bull, especially the Roman government going around the world killing people. So after a while, they started killing so many people to the point where as your old mythology, the old system had become so deteriorated until the people started questioning the government. So therefore, they had to go and upgrade their previous mythology or their previous philosophy system, you see, to come and to meet that today's emerging religions that started popping up. Religions are only inspirational political systems that occur when the original mythology or the original educational or mystery systems of those particular areas start to deteriorate. So as a result, the end result of a deterioration of a mystery system is a religion. You see, is a religion. So this particular Christianity is not some new phenomenon or some exclusive phenomenon. It was in fact a composite of ancient mythology of the ancient world. You see, and a poor job of it because the simple fact, the original aspect of it, it took 8 conferences to literally chisel out all of the supreme and sublime philosophy and mythology. 8 conferences, you know of the one of the conferences in Nicaea, but there was 8 other ones. You see, get Walter Williams' book, Historical Origins of Christianity, does a good job on that. And he talks about the different 8 conferences at the beginning of the book. So one of the actual primal archetypes of Christianity is the Dionysian myth. And the Dionysian myth goes all the way back to pre-dynastic Egypt, or pre-dynastic Kemet, into when it was called the Typhonian myth. And we're going to go into the history of this to try to give a historical context of where I need to go today to deal with this utter blasphemy and this so-called festival of for the lack of a better word, this festival of satanic enjoyment for those people now. Now, if this is a word, see, even that word alone, it's just like this Baphomet here. I wear this because I also know the meaning of it, and I know it has nothing to do with anything evil, but most people will look at this on my neck, and because we're not even doggone, because we're conditioned not to say anything, and we don't even have the common sense to just ask questions, because the fear, they figured if they ask me the question, I'm going to zap them. So nobody there look on my neck and see this goat and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And no one will ever ask. And if you ask the person, you would get the symbology of it, which is also a symbol of Jesus. You see, in the context of what it's supposed to be. But people will go as far as to not say anything. I'll be up at the cash register. People just look at this shit, you know, and all of that, you know, and all they have to do is just ask the question. But that ought to let you know how backwards the society is and how much fear we have as grown people because somebody instilled in us going to hell at a certain age into grown people. And you can go and get a master's degree, a PhD, but you can be in somebody's church on Sunday scared of going to hell. That you've been going through since you've been in the Western Hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? That no devil has ever produced anything, you know what I'm saying, but some people sitting around a fucking hot tub, you know what I'm saying, in some red room, there's nothing compared to just the hell we catch on this earth every day. But the concept here is, this is the mind control that we're going through, and so therefore, when I say those particular words and all, I'm saying those particular words, and I apologize for people who just not hearing this particular stuff because everybody hearing this stuff has gone through some process of eliminating the so-called superstitions and all of the ignorance of this fear that is given to you in religion. In so many words, what actually happens is there's different complex aspects of the astrological, astronomical, metaphysical world that there's several images, archetypes, and several systems that was put there to explain that. And what happened was those systems were around for thousands of years. When later generations came up and could not understand those systems because they had lost the original meaning of those particular systems, then what happened was those particular people, they just took all the stuff that they didn't understand and dumped it in this big area of evil. You see. So basically, 99% of what we have, what we call as evil, is a group of myths and mysteries and complex types of imagery and symbols that explain greater mysteries of the universe or the omniverse or the inner world that was just dumped in this big trash can of evil. You see. And basically this is what goes into comprising what we call religions. Rudolf Steiner said it, religions come about when ancient systems deteriorate and collapse. And what they don't understand, they throw in the big trash can of evil. And basically give you the same reoccurring thing that everybody understands behaves. And there's nothing profound out of what you get out of anything they teach in any religion other than behave. Because all the other stuff they tell you not to pay attention. So on that particular aspect, anything that you get is going to be terrifying. But then again, on the other hand, what we're talking about today is the behavior is that same thing that keeps the spirit realm down. So we're talking about undoing yourself in the aspect of everything that you think is pious, righteous, has to be overturned. Now, I'm not talking to some people say, man, our people ain't ready for that, man. You gotta go over. Our people ain't ready for that. I'm not talking to our fucking people. I'm talking to you in this room. I'm not talking to the idiots. I'm talking to the people in this room. The people that deem at this particular time that I need to know something other than what I know. And to have a hunger for that. So it all averages out. So it's not about our people. Even Collab said, you talking about moralism. We don't need to tell our people that shit. And I'm like, wait a minute. Well, I'm not talking to our people. I'm talking to the people in this room. There's a difference. Our people don't want to hear shit. There is no black nation. There is no black unity. There is only a remnant, like all ancient scriptures. The part that was left in it was telling the truth, says there will only be a remnant. You see what I'm saying? The upper room, a remnant, an aftermath. That's the only thing that we are concerned about. We're not talking about the masses. That's one thing we have to get this at this particular time. It has nothing to do with the masses. It has nothing to do with the revolution and the evolution of the race. That's gone. This has to do with the evolution of the entire universe. In this particular case, the redoing of the entire universe, or the overhauling of the entire universe. And that is left to the people that this particular information is given to at this particular time. You in this room. And a few other people in the United States. You see, and a few other people in the diaspora. You see what I'm saying? In the Caribbean or on the continent, but we're talking about wherever you go, we're still talking about a limited amount of people. It's like one sister from Ethiopia says, what you are talking about is alien to our people. And when these people get up every morning, they have to think of survival. How am I going to eat? And it's not with us like, how I'm going to get to the supermarket. Am I going to get a ride to the supermarket? No, it's how am I going to get some food in whatever kind of ration is out there for me. So you're talking about a people that for you to even talk on the concept of advanced metaphysics is so alien to them. Because their concept of survival is at such a level the survival mode is so high until they don't have time to ponder the philosophical origins of that metaphysical construct. They are so busy. So the whole concept of them will be alien. You see, even if you go to the book, or even if you would go to the person in the modern cities, the concept of survival is so alien. So we're only still talking about a select people. And we're not just talking about Africa. We're talking about here in America. And that's the reason why we can't reach the people, because we didn't understand that what the sister said in Africa holds true for right here in America. The concept of survival. Even if you're not even talking about the underclass, even with this thing permeates all the way to the upper echelon. Whereas a person with a master's degree can say, how is that going to put food on my table? So they never get out of the survival mode. Even if you got 10 lectures. You see, they never get out of survival mode. The whole concept, we're talking about people that never graduate beyond the survival mode. You see, that's why you got more white people that can grasp this, because they are the people that set the standard for survival, because they done taken over the planet. They got time to do other shit than survive. But these are psychological ramifications why we now see why our people, after 10 years of hearing all this profound knowledge, can't get it. Because we're stuck in a survival existence. We're talking about survival creatures. We're talking about a disease or a way of life that doesn't allow anything
God is in the right damn books. He Joan Collins and shit now.
taken out of the mystery school by the later cults or the later authors put them together for whatever society that they found themselves in. You see what I'm saying? They found themselves in. So the Quran is the word of God, but what does it have? The Old Testament in front of the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So he got this revelation that nobody got, but it's the Old Testament in front of it. Jesus got this revelation that nobody got, but the Old Testament is in the front of it. All this is edits and stuff and all that. The thing about it is we got to grow up and understand the esoteric part behind these particular things, because it has nothing to do with the program that you're thinking, well, this is the way it's supposed to be in the Bible, this is the way, now we in the book of Revelation and all. And it's an alchemical test. It's talking about your body going through a certain transformation and transmutation. The apocalypse is inner chemical marriage and an alchemical wedding of the rising of the sun. So if you're going to deal with anything, deal with that instead of inspiration at this particular time. You know what I'm saying? You're world-class people now. If you went to the Pope, you couldn't come at him with a fucking Bible. He would be exactly correct. He probably won't come up to that. Now, they put out this stuff, the esoteric pieces behind the papacy. There's a whole book called Sophi, on what the Pope and them deal with, Sophi, by Arthur versus Lewis. Arthur versus Sophi. And they deal with the realm of the goddess. They say shit. If you motherfuckers up in here right now, trying to get somewhere, and your text doesn't comprise the goddess, you are insane. The Pope and them know that they don't even try that. They even tell you right there, Mary, Mother of God is the most important thing, even more so than Jesus. Why? Because they study the goddess Sophia, which is the same goddess Ocean. You see what I'm saying? The whole concept is to go back into the court of the goddess, the realm of the goddess. You see what I'm saying? That's the key. You know, the divine feminine. So if you got any male chauvinist murder cult religion that ain't dealing with the divine feminine, you wasting your damn time. And you know the sad part about it is, with black people, our lives socially does not even fit that bullshit of a father when we know it's our mama. This every damn thing. She is everything from the mundane to the monumental, from the sublime to the damn nightmare. She's all of that shit. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is the realm of the goddess. That's the mystery. And they book the book Theosophia, the hidden dimensions behind Christianity. It's a whole book on what they deal with in the Vatican. But the Pope, the same one that you run around here with a Bible, they don't even deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they got all the artifacts of the world up under the Vatican. So they don't deal with that. You the only fool that think that the Pope, he come and do all that holy water shit. You don't study that. The whole teachings on Theosophia by Arthur versus Lewis. The book is still in print. Gives you all the mysteries and stuff. And it starts off, and they might start off with the whole thing that they give you on the first 2 or 3 pages. And as it progresses, it goes into the court of the goddess, the divine Sophia. The divine Sophia. Theosophia. You know what I'm saying? The Pope wouldn't dare call the most high God a damn. You know what I'm saying? Some things just make common fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? The Pope wouldn't dare. That's why they can go and kill up them fucking Arabs. Why you think them Arabs is fucking doggone mincemeat? And they can kill up them Arabs. Them Arabs is on the whole male chauvinist thing more than anybody. The whole Allah factor. You know what I'm saying? Which used to be a female goddess. Allah. You know what I'm saying? But these fools just such woman haters until they can kill them all up and rightfully so. Shit. You take the white man ain't dumb. The white man wouldn't roll against you that way. He has to come in secrecy to you and kill you all to let us be wise and conspire against them. But he opens up war on the Arabs worldwide. Why do you think he can do that? He ain't stupid. He knows because these motherfuckers are God and a goddess. So they meant to be. They own season kill. And rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? This is a savage. Talk about a damn hating demon. Allah. You know what I'm saying? This is a true savage. You know what you might say? It's about the divine soul. But when you go into the Sufism, get your book on creative imagination in Sufism by Henry Ford, which is the esotericism. It goes into the goddess Sophi. The goddess Sophi. You can't find enough of that. The book is also entitled Alone with the Alone. And it's dealing with the goddess Sophi. But the guy who wrote Sophi to break down with the papacy, he had to use Henry Ford's book on Sufism, Sufism to do that. So get Sophi. And it goes down to the goddess Sophi. The divine spirit. This is the stuff that you need to be dealing with this particular time. You see, the divine feminine. Now the divine feminine is not just a celebration of just the rights of motherhood. The divine feminine is also a celebration of the goddess being totally free. The goddess being totally free. We'll get into that in a few minutes and stuff like that now. But in so many words, what happens here is the hero takes a journey and he ends up into the court of Maloglodian, which this is the Moorish science of Maloglodian. He ends up into the court and he goes into the realm of the divine goddess. Once he enters in the divine goddess, he and the land and his whole universe is sovereign under the divine goddess. You see what I'm saying? Now this is Apollo who's coming out of, this is the one from Puerto Rico, and like I said before, one of the reasons why they had to shut this one down because this one has El Cristo Negro. And El Cristo Negro is the crucified Black Christ. So they had to shut this down because of that. And also El Cristo Rey is the Lord of the world. Well, it was interesting when I was in Houston, everybody was at El Cristo Rey, and they was like, I'm like, what, you Uncle El Cristo Rey? And they was like, yeah. In San Antonio, Texas, there's a big statue of El Cristo Rey. And he said people come from all over the world to come to that statue, El Cristo Rey, which is in rock. Lord of the world. El Cristo Rey and El Cristo Negro is one and the same. Different composites of the same thing. You see what I'm saying? It's one and the same. I'm going to explain some of this in a few minutes.